All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Awakening from the Dream Show. My name is Duke, and this is my YouTube channel. So today's episode is going to be the illusion of individuality. I'm going to be drawn from multiple different teachings. The Course in Miracles, Metaphysical Christianity, Eastern philosophy. And this is meant to just be an expression. We can only scratch the surface. It's not really meant to be taken totally literally, nor do I claim to be any kind of special person, enlightened, or anything like that. So sometimes I might come across as like I'm speaking like I'm coming from a place that I'm some kind of enlightened individual or something. I've just accumulated a lot of knowledge over the years and had a lot of experiences for the last 20-some years. What I call my initial awakening experience happened to me when I was about 18, 19 years old. I had a couple near-death experiences as well growing up that changed the way that I think of life completely. So this is a topic I've thought about and studied for a long time. And I feel like the general public, a huge part of the population, just has no idea that there's different ways to think outside of what church, science, and our institutions have presented to us. So let's get started. So I'm going to use a chart here. Oneness. Oneness is also been referred to as the all in all that is. It's not one as a fragment, but it is completely everything at once. Absolute reality. It has also been referred to as the Father and the Son. The Father and the Son, these words are merely symbols of a metaphysical, of understanding something metaphysically. If all there is one, how can there ever be two? How can something come from no thing is the great question. How can something come from no thing? There's an idea, a popular idea, that all there really is in reality is oneness. No time, no space, no separate parts. We have everything because we are everything. This is eternity. An endless void of inseparability, it's been referred to by Eastern traditions. The Western tradition, of course, is the Father and the Son. The all in all is the deeper metaphysical teachings of the biblical understanding. So the basic idea is all there is God. All there is oneness in reality. Everything else is an illusion. And to just say everything's an illusion and not understand it is one thing. It's as if, so I mean, on that note, I should probably get into a little bit the illusion. To say everything's an illusion, it's like it's a very real illusion. So to respect the illusion is very emphasized. Because you can say, well, everything's an illusion, I can go put my hand on that stove. But you will have the illusion of being hurt, for weeks, months, however long. The illusion is very real and to be respected. So, individuality, the idea that everything else is an illusion is that the only way this oneness could fool itself, so to speak, into having an experience where it is not all one is it could only do this through the art of illusion. And in a sense, it was as if this oneness had to completely forget itself, a complete amnesia. And the only way for oneness to fool itself into believing that it was someone, this is where bodies come into play. And bodies are used to perform this great hoax, the greatest hoax of all, the ultimate hallucination, that perfect oneness, non-time, non-space, can be time and space. So it was as if oneness had to design reality, and this goes into the simulation theory, except the simulation theory where science is at now is they don't know who or what is doing the simulation. And the mystics and the masters have always known that all right, there goes the cat. The cat. All right, so the mystics and the masters have always known that it's one mind. It's been referred to that this is one mind is generating all of this, and this one mind. It's kind of like when you lay down to go to sleep at night, your brain can generate a whole auditorium of people, places, and things that are all in your head, all happening while you're laying down in bed. In much the same way, one mind or consciousness is generating the entire time-space continuum. So behind every set of eyes and every set of ears, in reality, behind the layers of ego identification, is this one mind. It's as if, in reality, we are all the absolute. Our ego personality that we identify with as a body, as a person, as somebody in the world, as a race, a name, an age, everything that we identify with being a body is completely made up. And you might say that the truth is scary. It's been said that the truth is absolutely terrifying, an endless void of inseparability, an endless oneness that can't be escaped. Only in dreams and fantasies can this oneness escape itself, escape from being all one. And the entire world of time and space is this one mind, this one mind's fantasy, so to speak. It's as if we are a dream figure in our own mind's dream. Now, the part of us that identifies with being a person in the world, like the Buddhists say, this self, it doesn't really exist in reality. It's only an idea. It's just like from year to year, day to day, your perception of yourself can change based on your belief systems. And the whole belief system that we're born into is individuality is real, that we're not all one, that oneness is a lie, actually. And this is all part of the game, part of the illusion. So respecting the power of our mind, we can see how victim, victimizer, how pain and suffering were all created as necessary ingredients to make it seem real. And ultimately, that's all that needs to be forgiven, is the power of our own mind to be able to pull this off. Everything's not love and light here. If everything was love and light and a perfect world where bodies didn't age or die and everything was a perfect utopia, everybody got what they wanted all the time, everybody was rich and pampered and groomed perfectly, and healthy and happy and had the perfect relationships, it wouldn't it wouldn't fool us. We'd question the nature of the whole thing. It wouldn't be convincing. So that's why the power of our mind, we have to respect the power of our mind as part of the process of forgiveness, you might say. So where are we going with all this? We'll draw a little bit from the Course in Miracles. Is like, you could say our mind is divided into two parts, the ego and the spirit. The ego is the part of our mind that chooses separation, that entertains the idea of individuality, that you can gain off another's loss, that you're on your own, that you're different and special and unique. Where the spirit knows all is one. It's kind of like the devil and the angel on our shoulder. So bringing this down to practical everyday life, it's like when you're standing at the grocery store and a judgment comes across your mind. There's something you don't like about someone, and you find yourself not at peace because you're judging that individual. You can go back and see that the judgment is not coming from the other person outside you, but it's actually coming from your own mind. Ultimately, everything is coming from our own mind. So we bring it back inward to the decision-making part of our mind, and we choose the spirit over the ego in every situation. We have that. If we find ourselves upset and holding a grievance, we're not at peace in any way, it's always usually based on some kind of judgment towards some other body or some other person. So that is an indication that we can choose again. And it's just that step of, I can see peace instead of this. We do have a choice. We can choose the spirit over the ego. And the ego in this sense is used as, it's the part of ourself that denies who we really are. It's the fake part of ourself. The ego is like the part that when we identify ourselves with being a race, when we identify ourselves with nationality, when we identify ourselves, any way that we use to identify ourselves with being separate or different from other people. So in a sense, this illusionary reality becomes like a classroom where we unlearn our decision for separation. We unlearn our choice for the ego that we don't even remember making because we're born as a baby, and it sets up a condition where we don't even remember that we've actually made the choice for separation. So this whole reality is, in a sense, we've all come to worship the reality of duality. And we don't even realize that we've actually forgotten who we are. We've actually walked away from our true nature. And in a sense, we're all wandering through the world believing that we're a separate person in the world amongst a whole bunch of other separate people. And we don't realize that this is a complete hallucination of sorts, a very complex hallucination. So, what are we looking like on time? All right, so I want to keep the videos under 15 minutes, and I'm just gonna getting the channel going. I'm just going to let the videos roll. They're not going to be perfect. I'm probably going to regret saying some things or think I should have said something better or be embarrassed about what I said or something like that, but I'm going to work through that. It's part of getting over the exposure, the fear of exposure. This is a different kind of exposure though. So yeah, I look forward to continuing these episodes, and I will keep building on this same discussion in Awakening from the Dream Show. I'm also going to be creating other content too, as well, drone video and photography, slacklining, and anything I think of along the way. This is really about a creative process unfolding. So thanks for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you again on the Awakening from the Dream Show. Thank you.